Right, good afternoon ladies and gentlemen, it's Antony Carpen here at the Museum of Cambridge. I'm outside the Enid Porter building and we've just had the announcement that the trustees of the Museum of Cambridge have decided to move to a model where this museum here is going to move to a model where it's run entirely by volunteers. Yes, you heard that right, entirely by volunteers. Today is the last day where all of the paid members of staff are working, and they're currently, unfortunately, packing up and shutting up shop. I have absolutely no idea how this wonderful museum, when I first went to it, it was called the Folk Museum, and to us locals it still is going to function just on the goodwill of big society. We are talking about a city where ministers wax lyrical about how wonderful and wealthy and how popular it is, and how it is the engine of not just the regional but of the national economy, and we can't even afford to pay staff to run our civic museum. It's a fucking scandal, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that the news of this is going to spark something, not just within the city but beyond, about basically how we look after our city's civic heritage. Because ironically, for a city that is so famous around the world for its history, how in the hell have we ended up in a situation where the institution that is responsible for the history and telling the history of Cambridge and the surrounding areas is having to move to a model where it can't even afford to pay its staff? How in the hell are we going to be in a situation where in one of the most expensive cities to live in the country, are we going to get the volunteers to run this place? You tell me. Secretaries of State, Sajid Javid, Communities and Local Government, Karen Bradley, Culture, Media and Sport, Chancellor Philip Hammond, this is happening in your name because you have not provided through Parliament the powers that Cambridge as a city needs to be able to run things like this, like our civic museums. You have not provided the funding or the powers to save our children's centres. This is happening in your name. If you don't want it, give Cambridge and other towns and cities like it the powers to raise their own revenue to pay for stuff like this. Thank you.